It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You might be experiencing a season in which doors seem to close while you find yourself more alone than ever before. Maybe old friends have drifted away, opportunities you counted on have slipped through your fingers, or life just feels eerily quiet. Yet what if this solitude is not a punishment, but a protection, an intentional interlude orchestrated to safeguard your spirit and prepare you for the abundance ahead? Money is about to pour into your life in ways that will astonish those who assumed you'd never catch a lucky break. And the very isolation that once felt like a curse is turning out to be the sanctuary that shielded your growth. If you feel that subtle resonance of truth stirring inside, please like this video, subscribe, and comment 77 below, signaling you're ready to embrace the powerful shift about to unfold. Chapter 1. A Window of Refuge. You never expected. The isolation you're facing might have arrived almost stealthily, seeping into your days until you woke up one morning, realizing how few people truly surround you now. Friends who used to fill your weekends may have drifted off to their own pursuits, or you've cut ties with relatives who refuse to respect your boundaries. It can feel unsettling and lonely, prompting you to wonder if you did something wrong or chased away the very connections you once relied on. But in reality, this calm in the storm isn't a consequence of your failure. It's a calculated period of refuge that life constructed for you. At first, you might have resisted. Isolation can be scary, especially for a chosen one who's used to carrying others, standing out, or being the go-to pillar of support. The abrupt husk left behind can feel like a betrayal. But observe the nature of your solitude. It's not total despair. Instead, it's an opening for you to recalibrate. Freed from the constant noise of other people's opinions and energies, your mind is discovering its own voice again. You notice ideas blooming that would have been drowned out by a crowded social calendar or countless distractions. In the emptiness, a gentler clarity arrives. Simultaneously, you might see hints of sudden blessings, a promotion you didn't anticipate, a creative spark that promises a lucrative turn, or random financial windfalls no one could have predicted. These glimmers suggest that the emptiness is making space for new abundance. Family members or acquaintances who once were envious or draining can't overshadow your progress anymore. Your aura, no longer siphoned by energy vampires, is regenerating at a startling rate. So while you might miss certain comforts, deep down you sense that something more valuable is on its way. All this might leave you feeling torn between gratitude for the calm and longing for some of the connections you lost. Yet trust that this season is a precisely timed measure. The money that's set to rain down into your life requires you to be in a clean, energetic space, one free from the negativity or meddling influences that so often block blessings. In that sense, your isolation is a shield. The divine or the universe remove people who, knowingly or not, would have hindered you from receiving the bounty that belongs to you. As you pass through this initial phase of loneliness, it helps to remember that everything is unfolding at its rightful pace. Resist any urge to force new relationships or patch up old ones just because the silence feels awkward. This window of quiet is a gift. Get comfortable in it. Write, reflect, dream. Prepare for the windfall in practical ways. Organize your finances or set new career or business strategies. Each small step you take in isolation is multiplied because you're operating in an environment so conducive to growth. And soon enough, you look back and see how essential this time was for the monumental shift that's about to flood your life with prosperity beyond what you dared hope for. Chapter 2. People who drifted away were never meant to stay. One of the harshest realizations in your season of isolation is that certain friendships and relationships didn't stand the test of your transformation. You recall the closeness you once shared, how you confided in them about your plans, how they comforted you in darker moments, or how you all simply had good times together. Yet as you advanced, it's as though they receded. Perhaps they ghosted you, or you found you had little to discuss anymore, or you parted ways after a quiet, mutual drifting. It's tempting to view those departures as personal failures, but in truth, they served a deeper purpose. Each bond that crumbled under the pressure of your spiritual evolution was likely held together by factors you've now outgrown, shared insecurities or mutual fears you both fed. Once you started vibrating at a higher frequency, focusing on your goals or healing your wounds, their resonance with you weakened. They either had to rise with you or fade away. At times, you might face pangs of guilt. You recall how they supported you in the past or how you once declared you'd be friends forever. Yet the harsh truth is that not everyone is destined to walk every segment of your path. If they can't celebrate your ascendancy or meet the demands of your new mindset, holding on to them becomes more painful than letting them go. This is especially true for a chosen one whose mission demands focus and clarity. You are forging a trail, and not everyone is equipped to traverse. Your circle gets smaller, but the loyalties within that circle become unquestionable. Sometimes those who left or distanced themselves do so out of jealousy, confusion, or simple dissonance with your evolving values. If you're reading more about personal finance, planning your next creative project, or honing your craft, and they're stuck complaining about the same old problems, the disconnect grows too wide to bridge. The universe might have coaxed them out of your orbit specifically to keep you from being dragged down or compromised. Think of it this way. If you're about to receive substantial financial blessings, or if you're on the brink of an emotional windfall, it's best that only those who truly support and respect you remain close. In times past, the negative energies around you could have sabotaged your incoming abundance. People who clung to you out of convenience or who thrived on subtle manipulations might have attempted to drain your newfound resources or overshadow your achievements with their drama. By letting them slip away, you clear the runway for your blessings to land without turbulence. In the long run, you might see them again. Some could change, or you might cross paths in unexpected ways. But for now, their absence is an asset. It safeguards your energy in a crucial juncture, ensuring that when money rains down upon you, your blessings flow into receptive, loyal hands that don't intend to exploit or deplete you. This departure of the superficial or misaligned relationships is nothing short of divine curation. The universe is simply refining your social space to ensure you receive and steward your incoming prosperity with peace and gratitude, unburdened by unhealthy attachments. Chapter 3. The Subtle Signs of a Coming Financial Shift. While major changes can arrive in surprising ways, often the universe sends clues, small yet telling, that abundance is creeping into your life. You might start noticing coincidences related to money, like encountering references to wealth-building tools you never considered before, or hearing about grants or scholarships that strangely align with your interests. Perhaps random people spark conversations about investments or mention side hustles that resonate with ideas you've toyed with privately. These fleeting moments are less coincidence and more like cosmic signals nudging your awareness. You might also experience a new restlessness around old financial habits. Maybe your usual approach to spending or saving starts to feel inadequate. A nagging sense of urgency emerges, compelling you to learn more about budgeting, business plans, or alternative income streams. Suddenly you're reading about wealth mindsets or perusing job postings that offer a leap in pay. Even if you don't act on everything, your mindset is shifting, a sign you're preparing to receive more than you once believed possible. Fascinatingly, your dreams could also reflect these oncoming blessings. You might dream of finding money, of packing luggage for a trip that symbolizes new ventures, or of climbing staircases with unknown destinations. Such dreams may feel oddly vivid, carrying an undercurrent of positivity rather than the usual anxiety-laced tone. If you awaken feeling uplifted and curious, it's likely your subconscious foreshadowing beneficial changes. Moreover, your feelings about wealth might improve. Where you once saw money as scarce or stressful, you start perceiving it as an abundant resource, a tool for good, an affirmation of your evolving purpose. In everyday life, you catch yourself feeling less guilty about desiring comfort, more open to receiving compensation for your talents or services. This inner transformation is key. Money is an energy. It resonates with open-hearted receptivity. And if your heart is healing from old insecurities, that clearing paves the way for wealth to flow. Lastly, you may notice shifts in your sense of worth. If in the past you underpriced your skills or hesitated to pursue well-paying opportunities, you might now feel compelled to speak up or negotiate for what you truly deserve. This quiet boost in confidence changes how others see you. Offers and opportunities that match your self-perception become more common. People sense your newly found willingness to honor your capabilities with fair value. Even if you have moments of anxiety around it, the fact that you're stepping outside your comfort zone signals readiness for bigger blessings. All these signs, when stitched together, reveal a tapestry of impending financial rebirth. The universe doesn't typically drop wealth into your lap unannounced. It often checks your readiness first by sending subtle waves of possibility your way. If you've started to pick up on these quiet signals, consider them gentle confirmations. The money that's set to rain down on you is more than a fluke. It's aligned with the changes you've nurtured in your heart and habits. Keep watching, keep preparing, and maintain faith in the quiet suggestions that a major windfall is indeed on its way. Chapter 4. Isolation as a shield from the wrong people. It may seem counterintuitive to view isolation as beneficial, but if you're a chosen one, you already know that not everyone deserves front-row seats to your life transformation. Sometimes the universe orchestrates solitude to protect you from the meddling of those who would misuse your trust. When your abundance arrives, you don't need a circle of onlookers ready to manipulate or distort your opportunities. The divine sees further than you do, spotting hidden motives behind false smiles and subtle power plays. In your period of loneliness, your circle is intentionally pruned so that only genuine companions remain. During this phase, you may grapple with moments of resentment. Why did my friend fade away when I needed them? Why can't my colleagues respect my space? Where is my family's support? The straightforward answer might be that these individuals were never truly aligned with your highest good, at least not at this stage. When the universe glimpsed the size of your incoming blessings, it recognized that certain influences couldn't be allowed near. Perhaps they would have introduced drama or tried to slip their own agenda into your success. Isolation acts like a locked gate, keeping unfit energies out until you stand sturdier in your new chapter. While it might hurt to realize how many connections were fragile or conditional, it also lifts a burden. Gone are the cryptic criticisms or draining demands that used to weigh you down. This newfound lightness readies you for the monetary blessing poised to appear. With few and negative voices in your ear, you can discern the real from the fake, the wise counsel from the sabot. It's as though your energetic antenna is cleaned, allowing you to pick up life's best signals more efficiently. Moreover, isolation reveals what truly matters. Without social noise, you hone your gifts and reevaluate your goals. You figure out how to manage finances responsibly or how to invest in your own development, untempted by fleeting opinions on how you should spend or live. Whenever your mind drifts to old acquaintances, you can reflect calmly, seeing more clearly who contributed to your growth versus who drained your spirit. So if and when they attempt to come back, you'll handle it with mature discernment, not naive eagerness. Consider also the spiritual dimension. Your isolation invites deeper communion with your intuition, with the universe, or with whichever higher power you connect to. This communion fortifies your soul and sets the stage for wise financial decisions down the line. It also means that by the time money starts pouring in, you're spiritually calibrated to use it for your intended purpose. Be that fueling a creative dream, building generational wealth, or uplifting a community you care about. In essence, solitude has acted like a concealed fortress. You might have felt the pang of loneliness, but behind the scenes, it was all carefully arranged for your advantage. The people who were never meant to partake in your bounty have been kept at bay, ensuring that when your fortunes shift, you're surrounded by supporters, not opportunists. And as you accept that your isolation was divine protection, you'll find peace in the silence, realizing it's not emptiness at all. It's an echo chamber for your blossoming power and the upcoming abundance set to secure your future. Chapter 5. Preparing yourself for the deluge of blessings. People often say they want wealth, success, or recognition, but few genuinely prepare for it. When money rains down in a sudden torrent, it can either water your dreams or drown you in confusion. For a chosen one expecting a notable influx of financial blessings, The key is readiness, building structures and mindsets that can contain, nurture, and direct this surge. Why receive a deluge of opportunities only to squander them through lack of clarity? Practical steps matter. For instance, if you anticipate a leap in income, take simple measures like setting up a dedicated savings account or educating yourself on basic money management. Are you planning to invest in property, stocks, or a passion project? Start learning the fundamentals. Build a small team of trustworthy advisors if needed, folks who can guide you in areas like tax, legal matters, or even spiritual mentorship. Such preparation not only helps you handle the wealth responsibly, but also signals to the universe that you're serious and mature enough to steward it. Beyond logistics, there's an emotional readiness. Significant financial gain can stir old wounds around self-worth or create tension in relationships where monetary imbalances appear. You might worry about being asked for constant loans or that new acquaintances only see you as a wallet. Part of your prep involves anticipating these social dilemmas with calm strategies. Decide who you're willing to help and on what terms. Make peace with the idea that some people might resent your good fortune or cling to you for handouts. By facing these possibilities in advance, you weaken their power to unsettle you. Mentally affirm your deservingness. If you harbor subconscious guilt around receiving large sums or fear that money corrupts, you risk sabotaging your blessings. Instead, realize that resources are tools, neutral in nature. With the heart of a chosen one, you're inclined to use them for expansion, charity, or the betterment of your life and the lives around you. Ground yourself in the knowledge that the universe fosters balance, and your wealth can be part of that grand tapestry when deployed wisely. Lastly, clear your space, physically and emotionally. Maybe that means decluttering your home, discarding old belongings that carry stagnant energy, or it means severing emotional ties with past failures or regrets that weigh you down. Think of it as making room for new, fresh abundance. Each time you rid yourself of outdated items or grudges, you're symbolically proclaiming, "I'm ready to receive and hold on to the next wave of blessings." This preparation process might initially feel tedious or even paranoid, but you'll thank yourself when the rainfall of money and opportunities commences. While others might scramble in the face of sudden windfalls, you'll step into it calmly with a firm grip on who you are and where you're going. And that calmness isn't just for you. It serves as a beacon for other chosen ones too, showing them how to handle divine gifts with integrity and steady confidence. Just as you did the internal work to be open to this bounty, you do the external work to manage it well, ensuring your good fortune becomes a long-term legacy rather than a fleeting moment of glory. Chapter 6. How to maintain humility amidst your elevation. With the promise of wealth and renewed confidence on the horizon, it's important not to lose the humility that's defined you. Ego can slip in silently, whispering that your success places you above others, or that your isolation period was just a stepping stone to an elevated status. Yet one of the surest signs of a chosen one is the ability to remain grounded in empathy and compassion, no matter how high you ascend. Your story of transformation could help or inspire many, but only if you keep your heart open. The temptation to flaunt new earnings or adopt a condescending air might beckon, especially if you've been ridiculed or underestimated in the past. But ask yourself, does that approach reflect the spiritual essence you've spent so long cultivating? Would showing off truly ease any old hurt or just mask it under superficial pride? True healing arises from giving yourself grace, not from triumphing over others in a material sense. Let your steady self-assurance be proof enough of your journey rather than demanding outside validation. Gratitude is your steady anchor here. Remind yourself daily of how easily life might have turned out differently. How, if you'd been less persistent, or if certain events had unfolded differently, you might not be here enjoying the blessings you do. Even in small routines like preparing a meal or walking in nature, take a moment to reflect on how the universe has conspired in your favor. That mindset wards off arrogance. It keeps you vibrant and approachable, transforming your story into a beacon for others rather than a bragging right. Also, humility doesn't mean downplaying the scope of your achievement. You're fully permitted to celebrate and stand proudly in your success. Just remain conscious of how you communicate it. If someone praises your accomplishments, a simple, heartfelt thank you suffices rather than reeling into a self-centered monologue. If you find yourself overshadowing conversations with stories of your wins, catch yourself. Offer genuine interest in the other person's life and experiences too. Striking that balance ensures your circle keeps reciprocating sincerity and warmth. Finally, humility ensures you keep learning. When abundance arrives, it's an excellent time to gather more knowledge, hone new skills, or expand your network. Approaching these tasks as a student of life, rather than as someone who has it all figured out, welcomes new insights you might otherwise miss. Success isn't the end. It's a gateway to deeper realms of discovery. The day you consider yourself fully enlightened is the day you start stagnating. Resist that plateau by continuing to ask questions, read widely, and engage mentors or peers who challenge your perspectives. Holding fast to humility will also sustain and multiply your blessings. People trust those who succeed but remain relatable, who maintain a genuine desire to serve rather than be served. In the synergy of humility, gratitude, and success, you'll find an endless wellspring of favor. Your money, after all, is a tool, a stepping stone to fulfilling deeper life missions. Let it reflect your values, not replace them. And as you navigate the swirl of newfound power and finances, let humility be the silent value renewed each morning, keeping your spirit bright and your war welcoming to those who approach you in earnest. Chapter 7. Welcoming the Reign of Abundance. The long draw of isolation is ending. You've pruned old ties, guarded your energy, and tuned into subtle cues that bigger things were brewing. That quiet expectancy in your chest isn't nerves anymore. It's the early rumble of a coming downpour. Very soon, money will arrive in forms you may not have dared envision. A new contract, a property sale, a creative project that suddenly takes off. However it lands, the timing will be so precise it can only feel providential. More than cash flow, it's confirmation that your solitude was preparation, not punishment. But abundance is larger than a bank balance. Like thirsty soil soaking up rain, you'll maximize this blessing by staying mindful. Ask how the influx can fund not just comfort, but purpose. How it might seed projects that lift others who resonate with your calling. Dream wider. The ground is ready. Your former struggles aren't erased, they're validated. Every lonely night, every hidden prayer is stitched into this breakthrough. Outsiders may label the result luck, but you know the backstory. Isolation trimmed distractions and sharpened intuition until you could recognize destiny's knock. Even with new resources, the narrative continues. The season of scarcity ends, yet the lessons of restraint remain your guardrails. Re-engage the world on your terms, letting only those who honor your boundaries into your widened circle. This way, prosperity amplifies rather than dilutes your hard-won clarity. So stand poised. Receive with open hands and a steady heart. Let gratitude keep you grounded, even as possibilities multiply. The sky finally breaks, and you welcome the rain, not just to quench past thirst, but to cultivate the expansive future your soul has always pictured. Everything you endured led here. Now, with divine backing and renewed confidence, step forward and flourish.